what is your goal in life as being in this practice?
Wow. My goal in life is to be a better human being. And, golly, recently there's been so much going on in my life, but I just, I want to be so beautiful and pure that I can affect my environment. Sometimes without words. You know, sometimes I come across as pushy. I'm like, oh, you got to do this. You know, it's so good, it's so powerful. But I wanted to, like, people at work and people in my neighborhood, in my family, to say, wow, she's so different. She just shines. So I want to change so that my little grandbaby who was just born, I'll show her a picture of her, will be able to enjoy a peaceful, beautiful world. Because right now, the time is now to change our world. And I really believe
emerge, dancing and singing, joyfully spreading Kozarufu in this Saha world. Youth emerge, studying, listening, dialoguing, manifest hope for the people of this world disguised as hell. Youth emerge, unveil the world of tranquil light by casting off the transient and revealing the true Buddha. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Youth emerge, working, crying, laughing, suffering, building character. Change poison into medicine. Change karma into mission. Change darkness into light for all the world to see. Youth emerge. 7,000, 50,000, infinitely stronger. Unfurl the banner of peace through culture and education. Many embody one in mind, yet one world, turning winter into spring with the mystic law. Youth emerge. Thank you.
Made a declaration for abolishment of nuclear weapons, entrusting this mission to 50,000 youth gathered that day. This is one ripple became the foundation for SGI's effort for nuclear abolishment and peace, and has since evolved into a wave of dialogue, understanding, and respect emanating throughout the world, spearheaded by President Ikeda. Returning to these roots, our mission for peace, the youth decided to gather 50,000 youth who will generate unstoppable current of peace and respect for life in the 21st century. And also, President Ikeda says, why we want to, introduce this to so many youth. He said, people are searching for something that will satisfy their spiritual emptiness they feel, something that will revive their weary lives and fill them once again with hope and vigor. Humanity is searching for a wisdom that will provide true direction and purpose to individual and society, and that is the youth.
Mahayana really is the Buddhism of society, where you try to help yourself and try to help the people around you. And so that's where the word bodhisattva comes in, with of not only attaining enlightenment yourself, but helping the people around you attain enlightenment. And so our Buddhism is a form of Mahayana. Okay. And so we really feel that the way to change society is by changing ourselves. You look at the world, and no matter what people try to do, through war, through religion, through all these things, nothing really changes. People are still the same. But if each person can develop their own life, become happy within, then I don't need to take anything from you. I don't need to become happy because you're unhappy. I can become happy from within myself. And that's where chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo comes in.
My mom taught me about Buddhism growing up as a child. We chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, do Gongyo, and all that. I went to youth meetings as a kid growing up. I loved my youth meetings, junior pioneers, and we planted in New York tulips. But you know why tulips? I'm sure it's because they were easy and we were kids. It's like, here's a bulb, put it in the dirt, and make a mess. But what I've learned by practicing this, it's not, one thing I remember growing up, my mom told me, she said that everyone has the universe inside of them. And that all-encompassing power is inside of you at all times. That you're not going to find it outside of yourself. There's no sense in seeking it outside of yourself. You're not going to find it anywhere. It's all right here. And that's what has powered me through my life, was knowing that if I was going to change anything, I had to be the one to do it, to make the action, to make the choice. If I failed, my fault. If I succeed, my fault. You know, everything was inside of me. And that's something that will probably be the wisest thing that I have, is that that ability and strength and intelligence all rests in your hands. When they say you carry the world on your shoulders, they mean it. You know, you can, I can chant till I'm blue in the face, but nothing's gonna happen if I don't get up and do something. You know, when I wanted to get a job, my mom told me, she said, you need to chant, but you also need to make sure your resume is put together, make sure you're putting yourself out there, make sure you're practicing your interviews and all that. Because, yeah, you can chant, but that's to open your eyes and give you wisdom. That's to help, what's the word I'm looking for, orchestrate your karma. But your action is what really makes it happen, because the world's not going to fall in your lap and you're not going to be perfect. That's impossible.
So in a nutshell, you can't change the world unless you change yourself first.
Absolutely. Yep.
You can't change the world unless you change yourself.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, right. And that's pretty much it right there. It's like we have to, in order for us to make world peace happen, we have to be working towards it. We have to be better people. That means throwing your road rage away, because I am very ragey on the road. Don't drive around me, because
No, she's giving you wisdom. That's Buddha wisdom.
yeah. It's just you have to say, you have to look inside yourself first and foremost before you can point fingers to someone else. And all of that starts with you. Everything starts with you, and people are always watching you. My mother, again, and I'll bring her up a lot because she's my mom. She raised me. Everything I know, I've learned from her and put it towards my life. But recently, she told me a story how we were living back in New York, and we're from New York, and we're down here.
Me too.
One of the people living in our apartment building pulled her aside one day and just asked her. She said, you know, if you have time, I was hoping you could watch my girls for me, because I always see how you take care of your daughters, you take care of their hair, they're always dressed nice and clean. She has no idea who this woman is, but someone was watching her.
Yep.
There's always people watching you in every single thing you do, which is why when you're doing stuff, you have to pretend, like always pretend that there's someone behind you taking pictures and recording it. You never know who's out there. And that's the same way with living your life. It's not just, you know, making sure people are watching you that you don't like commit a crime or anything, but in how you do your schoolwork, and how you take care of your family, and how you talk to your friends, and how you present yourself to society. People are seeing that. And it might be 5, 10, 100 years from now, and you run into someone like, yeah, I remember you for such and such, you did so-and-so thing, and you're like, I have no idea who you are. And you're, yeah, but I know you. And that's how I guide my life with my coaches. It's like, how people, it's like, I do it because even if my clients aren't right in front of me, I want them to feel that I care the most for them, because I do. It needs to be sincere, it needs to be consistent. And in order for people to treat me that way, I have to show them that I'm worth it by being consistent, by being, you know, compassionate and open and honest and willing to learn about things, you know?
Does that make sense to you?
Like, I can ramble on and on, to be honest.
So pretty much you practice as just have integrity as you practice. Like
Yeah,
somebody's
but-
always watching you.
I mean, we call it like faith in daily life.
Well, see, because we chant, we have this Buddha wisdom, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, right? So every time we chant, we're bringing up this life condition of Buddhahood, but it's also the mystic law. It has many names. Wisdom for each one of us is different because we're different people.
Right.
And just like how she shared, you know, her experience in terms of wisdom. Now, there might be some other parents who might not be like her mom, but through this practice, they will develop that.
Okay.
And they are able to change that. For me, from my work, I get sometimes, just because, you know, I'm a graphic designer, but sometimes I don't know everything. Okay? So if I'm if I have a project and I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to solve this? I chant. What happens, I get the wisdom to search it on Google. there's my answer.
Yep.
I can solve it. So it's like, you chant for the wisdom. We don't know everything, but the wisdom comes when we chant to take some type of action. You see, so does that make sense?
I know exactly what you mean by that.
All right.
So pretty much, like the universe give you a situation that leads you to where you need to be, kind of like a path to get you,
Well, through the
like stepping
situation
stones.
makes us chant to
Yeah.
manifest
We can
this.
affect it.
Exactly.
Okay.